Hello friends, welcome back to my ShadowSamu channel. Today I'm going to introduce you to exactly what side gaps do to give sports cars an aggressive look. In reality, since there are tools available in life, I can only spend my time playing games. The game name was Need for Speed Heat. If you look at the license plate, I wrote ShadowSamu instead of ShadowSamu because it only fits a maximum of 7 words or numbers. Have you ever seen that there are some thin or thick gaps on the sides of sports cars? So what exactly do you think these spaces do? We all admire sports cars on the streets, which attract attention with their bright colors. If you think they are just fast and attractive, also pay attention to their fine details. So, are those attractive gaps you see on the sides of sports cars just aesthetic, or do they also have a function? Of course, although they exist for some cars only to be aesthetically pleasing, in many sports cars these gaps serve extremely important purposes. These gaps can directly affect the handling, cooling and of course performance of sports cars. Now we will discover with you what the spaces on the sides of sports cars are for. These gaps in the sides of the car can work as air ducts that improve the aerodynamics of the vehicle. When cars gain speed, it becomes difficult to cope with the impact of the wind. That's why the air ducts on the sides of sports cars support the aerodynamic structure. Thanks to these channels, the vehicle has less resistance to the wind. You can imagine that the wind, which is one of the biggest forces against the acceleration of cars, slips through these gaps without slowing down the vehicle. The spaces on the side of the vehicle are of vital importance in cooling parts that can overheat, such as the brakes and engine. When you accelerate a sports car, the engine and brakes can reach quite high temperatures. The cavities on the side provide a strategic cooling method to prevent this overheating. These gaps allow hot air to escape and cool air to be directed to the engine and brakes. These gaps allow safe driving by balancing the pressure. In a fast-moving sports car, air pressure builds up, especially in the wheel areas. This may negatively affect the driving experience. The gaps on the sides balance this pressure and help the vehicle provide a more stable ride. Simply put, thanks to these gaps you will have a safer driving experience. Aesthetic images should not be ignored either. When it comes to sports cars, we have to say that we are used to thin or large gaps. These side gaps also make the car look more stylish. While these gaps give the vehicle a more modern and aggressive look, they are also extremely important for the characteristic feature of the brands. Of course, we also see that in some models these gaps exist only for aesthetics. When these gaps are added just to add aesthetics, they can even damage the aerodynamic structure of the vehicle. For this reason, looking beautiful while serving a functional purpose is a more valuable issue for many people. To sum up, the spaces on the sides of sports cars serve not only aesthetic but also many extremely important purposes. You should thank these gaps for not seeing the brakes not working due to overheating. Of course, there is no need for these side spaces for these cooling processes. Some manufacturers may prefer to cool these areas with different methods. As far as I know, that's it. Thank you for watching my video and don't forget to subscribe. If you want any game or information we can help you with, just write it in the comments. Have a nice game, my friends, see you soon. Bye.